Good afternoon, my fellow crypto traders. It's been a while since I made a video. Went on a little hiatus and now I'm back. Yesterday I spent a good portion of my day repairing NVIDIA drivers on my Linux box. By the way, if there's anybody out there who uses Linux, and I prefer open source software and Linux, versus supporting Bill Gates and wind blows. Can you give me some tips here? Because every time NVIDIA updates their driver, I have to basically purge the whole system, and I do obtain the driver from the repo as suggested, and I have always installed the recommended driver, but basically I have to blow away the whole library system. Purge everything from the terminal and then re-download, and then I have to go through a whole slew of additional steps just to make it work, including updating Flatpak, because that's what OBS is installed on. Most of you probably have no clue what I'm saying right now, but some of you probably do. And so if you have any tips for me, put those in the comments, please. I would appreciate it. On to the charts here. So we're talking today, and I'm just putting out this video because I'm seeing something that is happening. We've got history in the making here, guys, and it is in terms of what the dollar is doing today. All right. Now, you can see I have an ascending line here on our charts. All right, and I'm going to zoom out to the weekly so we can see when the last time is that we've touched this. Some of you guys already know what I'm going to say if you watched any of my videos in the past. This descending trend line comes back from 2001, 2002. So the last two times we touched this was in June of 2001, and then January, February, March of 2002. And that gave us this descending wedge. Now, if I zoom back even further, I can go all the way back here, back basically to the 80s, and you can see we have some nice pivot points which correspond with the significance of this trend line. All right, now this trend line is not exactly accurate. So you have to understand, when we zoom back into the daily chart here and look at where we're at, that is closing in on this line that I have drawn. You have to understand there has to be a little bit of a variable space. So I believe this right here constitutes a touch of that line, which again, we have not touched for 20 years. That is history in the making, folks. And what this means to me, and of course technicals can be wrong, but anytime you come against a line that is so significant, and I'm going to thicken that up a little bit, it should be really 4 pixels, because that's a very significant line in my opinion. But generally, when you come up against one of those that is acting as resistance, or you come down to one of these significant trend lines, moving averages, supports, levels, whatever you have, if it is strong support or resistance, you don't generally just break right through those things. All right, so that's why I have this arrow here. Okay, so you don't just bust right through those things. I've rarely seen that happen, although I've seen a lot of technical indicators go upside down and haywire during this last bear market. But I have this arrow pointing down because this is what I'm expecting. It's possible that tomorrow we may have just a little bit more of an up run before boom, the dollar comes back down, and I think it's going to come back down and at least touch this 103 support. All right, now it may move higher, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it won't go above that long existing trend line. Very well could, But what I am expecting, because we're up against that, is, let's see, CPI numbers come out tomorrow, I believe. Maybe we have some good numbers. I've often said that the charts tell us ahead of time the news before the news actually comes out. So what I'm seeing here is the possibility or the potential of good CPI data tomorrow. And if that data is good, and let's say inflation is already starting to come down, then that makes it more likely that Jay Powell and the Fed could potentially at least decrease the rate of the next hike. All right. But it's also possible in the future that Jay Powell and the Fed, with new data coming in, might see that rate increases are not as necessary as they first anticipated. And then that could in turn cause them to pause future rate hike action. And if that happens, then the dollar will come down even further. All right. So right now the dollar is very strong because of all these rate hikes. And you can see here it has followed exactly every single technical indicator. Bull flag here popped up. Bull flag here popped up. Bull flag here in this channel broke above the channel, formed a descending wedge, which you know is a bullish pattern, went up, bull flag here, and now we have gone up as I anticipated in the last video, which was about 2 weeks ago, that we would go up and touch this trend line. Here we are, guys. So let's take a look at the VIX, because remember, I always say the VIX is really the predominant indicator. In other words, the VIX carries a little bit more weight than the dollar. And if the VIX correlates with the dollar, which you can see the VIX is down today. So what are the markets doing when the VIX is down? The markets are up, right? So even though the dollar is up slightly, the markets are up because the VIX is down. Look what has happened here. Now, I was going to put out a video yesterday, but because I was having these graphic card issues, it was all choppy and wonky, etc., etc. But we were still in this bullish wedge, which is really a bullish wedge. Now, probability suggests that we pop up, and we haven't done that yet. And we still could pop up. That's not out of alignment here, because all I have to do is move this flag here, and we are on strong support. But in yesterday's failed video, I was mentioning that the possibility of us breaking down below that support also exists. Now, why do I say that? I say that because the dollar has reached that strong resistance point and area, all right? And so this is what a lot of the fear in the markets is precipitated from. It's the strength in the dollar, it's the Fed raising rates, etc., etc. I understand that some of the fear does come from geopolitical situations and issues, the war in Ukraine, you know, whatever the next fear narrative is that's being propagated. But the largest or the majority of the fear that is being priced into the VIX here does actually come from the dollar, the strength of the dollar, which is indicative of the Fed's price actions or the Fed's rate hikes. All right. So we can see that since the dollar has reached that resistance and is likely to come back down, fear is also reducing. Now, we need, this is the daily chart, we need, as I always say, another candle to open and close under this support for us to see confirmation that this move down is actually going to take place. All right, so I want to see another candle down here. Once I see that, that is confirmation. And at that point, I'm expecting us to go down to our next level of support. You can see this other purple trend line that I have drawn here, and that's where the VIX would head. During this time, if the dollar is down and the VIX is down, what happens to the markets, guys? I say this all the time, ad nauseum, I feel. The markets are going to go up. So I expect here, should this confirm tomorrow, and I'm not going to put out another video again tomorrow repeating the same stuff. This is it. But should this confirm tomorrow, then we are likely to see 2 or 3 weeks of reprieve or rest in the markets. And the markets do need a rest. They need a little bit of relief here, a little bit of hope. And I think we are likely to see this based upon what the charts are telling me. All right. So I'm only reading the charts. Haven't got that CPI data yet. We haven't got any news yet to confirm any of this. But again, if we go with the fact that the charts will tell us the news before the news comes out, this might be your early indicator. And if you're aggressive, you might go in and go along for a couple weeks here. Now, with that being said, let us take a look quickly at our Bitcoin chart, see what's happening today. I haven't even looked at it. I haven't had a chance. I've been so busy with work. Just got back from vacation. And sometimes it feels like you need a vacation from a vacation just to get caught back up. And here we are. We have Bitcoin taking off. So what did Bitcoin do to me? Well, Bitcoin stopped me out. Here's my trade here. And true to form, I am doing my stop outs, and I set my stop out at this low level here of 19,000. I think I had it 19,337. All right, just poke below like the market movers like to do. They like to shake you out at the lowest point, and then Bitcoin is taking off. All right, so anytime that I get shaken out of a trade, that would be your indicator to buy. It's like I'm the great anti-indicator, kind of like like Wall Street Bets likes to call Kramer the contra-indicator, the master contra-indicator. So that is what Bitcoin did to me. It stopped me out and started to fly. Jasmine also stopped me out. I have no idea what it's doing. It's probably going up as well. Let's just take a quick look out of curiosity. I haven't even looked at these charts before making this video. I think I got Jasmine in here. Yep, of course, 10% up. All right, so stop me out, and there it goes. Now I'm also in Gitcoin, which is up 3%. And Shiba 4%. All right, they haven't stopped me out yet, so they're not going to take off. Anyways, I'm being sarcastic, and I shouldn't be like that. But I hate stops, guys. But I can't let what happened to us with Luna happen again. I don't want you all following me down that black hole. I'll do that on my own account, but not in the public account. So this is an account that we're going to follow all of the things that you are supposed to do to be a good trader, to be a safe trader, really. But safe traders aren't always good traders. We're going to attempt being safe traders and good traders, if that's even possible. I don't know. I don't know if it is. All right. Anyways, I digress here. We are off track. Bitcoin is taking off. Now, guys, I was going to say some things about how low Bitcoin could go, because really I'm not seeing it below the 16,000 level. I know a lot of technical analysis and professionals are calling anywhere from 10,000 to 13,000. I've looked at this stuff ad nauseum. I just don't see it. The lowest I see Bitcoin really getting is 16,000. It's a long explanation for me to show why that is the possibility of a bottom if we even go lower, which I don't know if we will, guys. So I won't go into that in this video. It involves us taking a look at the NASDAQ, the Dow, the S&P, and some other indicators and charts to show where I get that 16,000 from. All right. So in short, basically, Bitcoin is the double. Bitcoin, first of all, most closely correlates with the NASDAQ, all right? But it moves generally around 2x the NASDAQ, all right? So NASDAQ moves up 10%, Bitcoin might move up 20%. And altcoins are generally 2x of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin moves up 20%. Altcoins, you may see some pops up to 40%, all right? That's so when people ask me if I trade leverage, well, in my opinion, trading altcoins already is leverage. If I'm absolutely sure, and if we're trading in conjunction with the trend, which typically I'm very good or the best at, better, and not the best, like better than everybody else, but my own experience in terms of trading in a bear market and a bull market, I am definitely better in a bull market. And there are times when the trend is my friend and I see all these indicators that I'm quite confident something is going to move the next day or the next 2 days. It does move. In that case, I might put in a small leverage on an altcoin, 2 or 3x, but only a small portion. You can really get burned with those leverages, and you have to be absolutely confident and sure. And since we are playing it safe in this public-facing portfolio, I will definitely be careful about putting in those leverage trades. Anyways, here we are. Bitcoin is already kind of giving us the lead indicator that dollar is going to come down. VIX. It's also leading the VIX. All right, we haven't got that confirmation candle yet on the VIX. We need another day below this support to show us that the VIX is actually going to come down. But Bitcoin is telling us that the VIX looks like it will be coming down. All right, so there you are, your lead indicator here. You know what else I'm seeing? And what might help us determine the way Jay Powell and the Fed are going to go. Look at this unemployment rate. I mean, we're still it's flatlined, all right? It's not going up. If the unemployment rate was starting to go up, that is where Jay Powell and company might come in and give us a little bit more relief. So watch, I'm saying this because I want you guys to have this chart as well. Once you start to see that unemployment rate go up, the Fed is definitely not going to be raising hikes then. If anything, they'll be injecting the economy with more fiscal relief, monetary relief. Another thing I'm seeing here real quick before I jump to our outro is U.S. oil, as I expected, is coming down. It has broken below this up ascending channel here of sorts. Not really a channel, but we have got a big strong support here. We've been in an uptrend on oil since December. All right, and we broke below that, and you have a nice, beautiful bear flag here on oil. I do expect it to come all the way down, at least to our $84 per barrel support, maybe down to $76 per barrel. All right, and that is also an indicator that that we're going to have some relief here in the next few weeks at least. All right. That's all I got for you today, guys. I really didn't do any prep on this video. I'm just kind of going on the fly and looking at charts on the fly as I go, speaking out loud. But hopefully that's helpful. And then you guys keep the dollar and the VIX in your eyesight for sure, for sure, for sure. All right, this week it is all about that dollar. What will happen upon a touch of our 20-year resistance? My guess, as you guys know, is it comes back down. If this downward movement correlates with the VIX, which is why you got to have the VIX up there as well, you need that confirmation candle below that support on the VIX, then the market should experience some relief over the next few weeks. Watch the dollar and the VIX closely. And that is my video today, guys. Peace, y'all. Talk to you in the next one.